Only one kid in history had ever attempted what Benny was about to. And he got eaten. So we were worried. Real worried. Even when Benny brought out the secret weapon. Shoes guaranteed to make a kid run faster and jump higher. PF Flyers.
We can't let him do this, man.
All right, welcome back to the Slate Laced podcast. We're happy to have you here. Happy hump day. Blair, how we doing?
Same as usual.
All right. Let's get right into it. Today we are discussing Fatherhood. It is the new Netflix film starring Kevin Hart, among others, Lil Rel Howery, Alfre Woodard, DeWanda Wise, all star in this as well. And quick synopsis before we get into initial thoughts. It is about a widowed father, and we basically follow his journey after his wife dies shortly after giving birth to their daughter, his journey as a single parent and a single father. So kind of a new little take there. I know we usually see like the single mother thing, so this is definitely a little bit different. But Blair, initial thoughts before? Did you see any trailers, anything like that?
No, I didn't see any trailers. Nah, kind of is always the same as usual. You know, you were just like, these were the two options. And then obviously my goal was to watch both of the options. And I just didn't know anything about fatherhood, you know, in the real life and in the movie aspect as well. So yeah, I was just going in blind. Didn't even know Kevin Hart was in it. But no, like I said, I always like going in blind though, because I don't have to try to figure out the movie. I don't have to have like an ulterior motive, even if you would have one. I don't need to really have any ill will towards the film, because sometimes you end up having that where like maybe you don't like the actor or you don't like the actress that's in the film, or you feel like it's going to be another cliche film and things like that. And so I had none of those like initial thoughts coming in because I didn't know anything about it. And that's kind of what I like, so I'm just going to keep that going, but so I didn't really have any initial thoughts, but then sat down and was ready.
Yeah, for me, I had seen it pop up on Netflix. Definitely 100% wasn't something that I was looking forward to seeing. But again, it was one of the new releases, so we try to get those new releases in. We do. But yeah, it wasn't appealing to me. Didn't really need to see the trailer to know what it was about. But, I saw that little clip that they give you on Netflix when you hover over the title. But yeah, definitely wasn't something I was interested in. I figured I'd probably watch it eventually, but, you know.
So you said that you didn't need the trailer to know what it was about. So just by the title alone, you knew that the wife would be dead and stuff.
Yes, but I also
by the title of the film.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have a lot of social media. I knew what it was about already. Like.
So the name Fatherhood just makes you think of.
I listened to Kevin Hart's podcast, so I heard him talk about the movie, all that stuff.
Okay. See, I didn't know that, but I thought you were just saying.
From that, I knew it was gonna be the journey of a parent, father. Okay.
Okay.
I
know, but I'm just saying.
But I didn't know the wife's gonna die. But no, I did know that because he has talked about it, and it's obviously in the synopsis as well. Okay.
Because, I'm just saying, so if I just gave you a title, Red, Blue, Green, you'd be like, so actually what the movie, you know what I mean? So you'd be like, so the film is about this, and that, and then someone's,
but for Fatherhood, we could take a wild guess. It's going to be a fatherhood.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the mom wouldn't even be present.
Yeah, true. But again, wasn't really that tough to figure out. It's all over the synopsis, all over social media, everything. So, yeah, I pretty much knew, but again, wasn't excited to see it, but, you got to do what you got to do. But with that said, let's get into it. Do we want to start with the negative or the positive? What do you want to do here?
I'm down to start with the positive.
All right, let's go. What are some of the positives?
I I think it was a likable film. I don't even really think it was bad at all. I had did like a little research after I watched it and seen like there was like some mixed reviews where some people did kind of like it and some people didn't. I think it's tough every time you bring in an actor who typically doesn't play a specific role. Obviously, I guess I'll save that really for the negative, I would say. But just in general, it's tough. It's like taking an athlete and then you're putting him into a drama film and he's the main character and you're expecting him to be just as good as like Meryl Streep or something, and you're just like, well, of course, like that's what she does. She's all about drama and bringing out emotions and things like that. And then in this aspect, you're bringing like the name, the ticket sale, and then you're putting them into a field that they typically don't do. But I'm gonna guess he went ahead and took on that role. But anyways, I feel like it was entertaining. From beginning to end, I wasn't really watching the clock. I liked watching the setting. Just where it took place. There are a lot of films coming out in Atlanta and stuff like that nowadays. But, it stayed away from like your cliche where you would expect it to be in maybe like Los Angeles, Hollywood, like in California, those type of areas. Also, the girl, the actor, the young girl was actually very good. When you watch it from a filmmaker standpoint, it's funny because sometimes you can tell where there's like certain scenes that probably took like 15, 20, 30, 40 takes, but like with her, you don't get that type of feeling. I'm sure that it had happened, but you can see that she has a lot of skill. And like as she gets older, she's like she's only gonna get so much better. Like she's gonna continue to grow and actually be a really good actress. And she's like doing it now where it's like it's extremely believable that that she's obviously a kid. I mean, she's not an adult playing a kid, but like it's absolutely believable. You're like, yep, that's a 6-year-old. Yep, like that's a 5-year-old. That's exactly how they think. That's exactly and I love the attention to detail that the film had when it comes to playing a kid and just like how children think. For example, when they were in the parking lot before he decided or before he was debating on taking this job and getting more money and like going overseas for a few months without like spoiling the film. But like he was talking to her and it's like always a challenge as an adult when you're trying to communicate to a child and get them to understand, how life is getting ready to be and where we're getting ready to go and what we're getting ready to do, because it's like they don't understand those type of things. But it's like for kids, things are just so simple, and so like he basically was mentioning how he wasn't really talking to a specific someone anymore. And like as a kid, it's just like, why? Like, I don't get why you're not. Like, what do you mean you guys don't talk anymore? Like, you can't just work it out. Like, kids are just, they think it's just so simplistic, But I really like that touch because that's literally how kids think, And if you wrote it as an adult, they obviously are adults writing the film. But like, if they didn't think or have kids in their lives, I felt like that type of piece would be missing from this film. And with that missing from the film, it would definitely affect the overall performance, the overall execution. And it was not missing. And that attention to detail I really did enjoy in this film.
Okay, good points there. For me, the pros, it was entertaining, like Blair said. That's definitely one. Again, you're not going to be bored. You can watch it all the way through. You don't have to pause and, look at the time. It definitely had the emotional, pull, made you feel something, so that's always good. It's definitely supposed to be an emotional movie, and if you're just sitting there, blank face, it's not doing its job. But this one, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, like you're gonna feel bad when you're supposed to feel bad, happy when you're supposed to feel happy. So that was also good. Good writing, good storytelling. I believe this is based on a true story. So this is someone's journey to fatherhood, and again, like I kind of said before we got started, it is a unique kind of take on parenting films because I think we usually see it from the mother's perspective, but to see a dad struggling and pushing through and, dealing with the ups and downs, changing the diapers, going to the doctor's visits, it's definitely unique. So it has that unique points for sure, entertaining, and then, you feel what you're supposed to feel. So it's an emotional film as well, and that's, anytime you feel something from a movie, it's definitely good. But that's pretty much all I have on the positives. It wasn't anything too deep.
No, but there was some things I did want to touch on within the positive and just like this thing in this realm. So for me also, the thing that they kept hinting at, well, not necessarily hinting at, but just in the beginning, because obviously it's like the foreshadowing, like this is what life is getting ready to be like for this film, and this is what this journey, this character is getting ready to go through. What I really did, I feel like what they did try to show and show that like how different it is, like what you were saying, is like everyone's just like, well, that's like a job for a woman. Like that's what you expect, women to do. Like you can't do this. How are you gonna parent? You need a woman to be able to do it. Like you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. And that he was hearing that time and time and time and time again, and I think that basically is an interesting take with this film, because it's like most people don't think a father can do it by himself. He definitely needs a mother, but the narrative is out there, and then obviously the narrative is out there, and I guess it's proven, whatever, but women can do it and don't need a man, So it was interesting to see them like play with that and then go ahead and show that, look, man or woman, if you set your mind to it and you are going to be a determined parent, you can get it done, because people have been doing it for, way longer than we've been on this planet. So I just wanted to touch on that.
If we were deep diving it, I would definitely get into those opinions a little more, because it was definitely strange. Like, I mean, that's her dad. I don't really understand what people were talking about, but we're not deep diving it. We don't want to spoil anything. Yeah. You guys can kind of see that for yourselves. On that note, though, let's get into some of the cons.
Okay. So Blair, I'm up to bat.
You got any cons? What?
I thought the beginning was weak. Okay. So for me, actually, when I was sitting and watching, I was like, dang, I don't think this film's gonna be like any good within the first 15 to 20 minutes of the film. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, right? Not like I said, I was not watching the clock. It was smooth. It was enjoyable. But for that first 1 to 19 minutes, I'm like, I don't know. And I think the reason that it was I think that the acting wasn't, was subpar. The writing was subpar. Now again, the overall theme and the overall execution of the film, I think it was good, but I just think in that first 1 to 20 was not so good. I'll just give an example, because obviously, like you said, we're not deep diving in here, but just like the actual overall the death of the mother, and like how they were playing it in the beginning, of him like sitting there like at the not the altar, what is it, the stand when you're getting ready to speak, give the eulogy. Yeah, there we go, right? So he's getting ready to sit there, and it's like he's struggling to figure out what it is that he's gonna say, and it's like, for me, I mean, I understand that you could be at a moment like that, at a loss where you can't think of anything to say, but you've had time to prepare for this, and this is supposed to be your better half, as they say, right? This is like your partner that you're doing life with, and you've known them for X amount of years, and from the way they play it, he's known her for a very long time. So I feel like if that person was gone off the face of this earth, like that, like the way it happened in that film, I think you can find some words to say, some kind words to say and like really speak on what she meant to you, for you to stand there and be like drawing a blank, like just didn't necessarily make sense to me. But the way they were playing him in the beginning was kind of corny. It was basically like trying to show that he messes everything up and can't get anything right, but it wasn't necessarily clear, right? Like all we were getting were, all right, man, don't mess this up like you usually do. Like that was really all we got, but it was never anything like concrete that shows like, look, he used to always be late to work. He couldn't make it to his daughter's ballet recital. And obviously that's not possible, but this is an example, so that type of thing is like, because it wasn't clear. And I know that they're just trying to move the piece along so that we can get to what is important. But I think you still got to make that type of stuff clear, cohesive, wound up tight, because you got to treat it like some of us did not read the book, because obviously I did not read the book. And I'm guessing if I did read the book, I would know this type of information. But it's like, if you can just wind it up real quick, give it 10, 15, boom, get on our way. But that was really the biggest thing for me, that 1 to 20.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's just overall the movie's just basic and ordinary. Like there's nothing that stands out about the movie. It's literally ABC. The movie's over. It's kind of formulaic, I guess they would say, and here's the the big bomb at the beginning. Now he's got to deal with it. So I understand that this is really someone's journey, but there's no spice, there's no thrill, there's no. It's just a movie. Like we just giving it to you straight, and then we roll in the credits. So yeah, that definitely is one of the cons. It's just nothing really stood out about it. And then my other one is just Kevin Hart is like the leading man in this bothered me. And I don't know if it was because his acting was bad. That's not necessarily a con that I'm having. I don't know. I was indifferent about the acting. It was fine to me. But I'm just him in it. I was just like, I'm not. It was just odd. It was odd. And I'm not saying it because he's usually a comedic actor, because I've seen him in other things where he's not doing the comedy thing. But yeah, this was just like, I don't know. He was like a little fish out of water for me in this role. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the acting. Maybe it was the acting, but it was not. I didn't like it. The cast wasn't meshing with me.
Well, that was actually what I was going to ask you. What did you think of his performance? Because for me, it really was just all right. It was just like you see in a minute and you're just like, okay, we need 10 more years of this where you really can see him playing this type of role and really just killing it. You can really see that the script catered to him in this film, because the film was a drama, but there was a lot of moments in there where that's Kevin Hart comedy. That like silly type of things that he does, all the extra like hand slapping stuff moment, type of things that he does. It was like, it was written for Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? There was no other actor or actress in the running for this film.
Yep. True. So, yeah, no real thrills, nothing. What you see is what you get with this movie. So, I mean, obviously that leads us into our ratings, but that just kind of topped off how I felt about the whole thing. It's just like, it was there. Again, it's not necessarily boring. I wasn't falling asleep. Like, I could definitely watch it all the way through without a problem. But is it? Yeah, I mean, and again, I did feel some emotion, but I did too. But I feel like the young girl is what really brings all of that together. Yeah, probably. So
she killed it.
But with Kevin Hart, it was just, I don't know. Again, he just felt like he was out of place. But the crazy thing is, the critics and the people loved it. Like I
said, it was enjoyable.
On Rotten Tomatoes, it was 66%. That's very good for Rotten Tomatoes. And I was definitely shocked to see that. I thought it was definitely going to be in the 40s. I was thinking 48.
No, I didn't think so. Not when I had watched it. I thought it was.
I thought for Rotten and how strict they would be, I'm like, they going for 48.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gave it a 66. And then the people of IMDb gave it a 6.7. So it ranked really, really well. in those ratings. But of course, the Slate rate is the most important one. So let's get into that. Blair, what do you got? 1 to 5 entertainment.
I got it at a 3.
3? Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
From beginning, it wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad.
It's a
It
run
was
of the
just
it's a
there.
run of the mill film.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But there's a lot of films that we watched and rated on here, and I gave it a 3 as entertainment because it was run of the mill, and it belongs in the cream of the crop with those guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. Entertainment. I want to go 2.5.
Okay.
I want to go 2.5. Originality, I think, is gonna save it a little bit for me. But Blair, 1 to 5 originality.
I was actually not even gonna give it as high as I did as far as originality goes until you talked about it on here. Actually, I had an on-air change of heart. Where you were just kind of
One of the first, a little Slate
I'm
rate
being
first.
dead serious. Where you're like
An on-air change of heart.
you're like, yeah, I mean, it's just not that, and I was like, dang, I guess it really isn't, huh? For me, I thought of Kramer versus Kramer.
Okay.
When it came to this film, specifically, I was thinking of when Dustin Hoffman is running his son to the hospital from the park because they literally had the exact same accident, essentially. And so, that was like his life-changing moment and when things turned. And then that was essentially the same thing in this one. So I literally thought of Kramer versus Kramer. Now, to me, that film is actually very good. I would give it way higher than what we're about to give this one here. But, so to me, it was like I had films in comparison. So because I had films in comparison, I was like, oh, I'm not really going to go that high as far as originality goes. But then, you did what you're supposed to do. You did your homework. And so now I have a change of heart. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a 3. I'm going to give it a 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got a solid 6.
Solid 6.
I don't want to go super high on the originality, but I do think it deserves credit where credit's due. Again, yeah, if we deep dive this one, we would have definitely got into some more of the cons, and I think that would have changed the ratings a little bit, maybe. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go 4. I'll go 4.
Dang.
I'll go 4. The original is the only thing saving it. I mean, because
That's funny.
It's not necessarily like a battle for custody. Like, this is actually seeing him do all of fatherhood. Like, I don't think we see, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's Kramer versus Kramer as what the
Yeah.
battle for custody, but it's also he has to do fatherhood though.
Yeah, but just him, we'd like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
No, I
Like,
feel you.
solo dolo, just waking up, going to the meetings. Like, it's just not, I don't know.
It's funny to me
I
though
don't know.
because
Go ahead.
I liked the film more than you did, but you giving it a higher rating than I am.
Yeah, because that's how that Slate rate is tricky, you know? One little tip of the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got it at what, 4, 5, 6.5, and you got it at 6. Yeah. So again, we're basically right there along with the people. We usually kind of are. We kind of are. But yeah, for this one, I mean, as far as going to see it tonight, take your time. Blair, what do you say? It's not something you need to rush to get to. If you have a Netflix account, go ahead and watch it because it's free.
Yep.
But if this is something that you got to try and steal and download, don't do it.
And
Don't pirate.
If you're going to the theater to watch,
Yeah, don't commit piracy.
yeah, please don't.
And
Please don't. We
yeah,
never support that.
because this ain't good. It's not even worth it. Blair, anything before we close up here?
Nah.
Yeah. Again, wait on it, but it's something to definitely check out. Have it on in the background. Have it on as white noise. You'll be able to follow it. Ain't nothing tricky popping off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, next week we probably got some more footwear stuff for you, but we'll definitely be back with more movies. As theaters are opening back up.
How many times have you been?
I've been twice, I think, so not that many. But yeah, we'll get to watching these films and be getting on these reviews.
Yeah. I'm about to activate my little thing. I'm ready to come out of the.
There you go.
So,
Gotta
yeah.
get on it. But yeah, on that note, happy hump day. It is the Slate Laced gang. We're out. Oh, did 3 fingers. Okay, don't know what I was doing. See you later.